This
Yep.
conference will now be recorded.
I just call the meeting to order. It's Travis Rask, calling the Parks and Rec December meeting to order at 5:05 p.m. First order of business, we're going to let Emily give her presentation. Lindsay, would you like to have anything to say, or how do you want to do the meeting first?
Yeah, I just want to say that Emily reached out not too long ago to discuss this concept at the vacant lot, which is city owned. It's on 70 Franklin Street, and I thought that she had made a good pitch, at least to me. So the next step would naturally be to talk to the rest of you, and Emily, I'll hand it over now.
That's great. So it doesn't look like I still have the ability to share my screen. I know a bunch of people are on phone, but I do have some pretty pictures.
I'm going to try to do that right now for you.
Cool. While Lindsay's doing that, maybe I can just start. I don't want to waste anybody's time. So I'm here, yeah, there's a potential project, and I'm here to try to talk to you about that, get your feedback. Oh, looks like, oh, here's my option. Okay. I'll share my screen.
It gave you the option?
Yeah, and it should be up. Can people see it?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right. So yeah, I'm here to talk about 78 Franklin Street. And for the people on the phone, there's a picture of kind of a grassy field with a few people at some folding tables. And I don't want to assume that everybody knows who I am and what department I am. So I'm going to just mention quickly about who I am and the department that I come from. So I'm the Director of Health and Wellness for the City of Kingston. And I primarily coordinate another commission for the City of Kingston, and that's called Live Well Kingston. It's a health commission, and we really try to focus on the social determinants of health. So it's about supporting healthy lifestyles. And health is really broad. So we've tried to break it down into focus teams. They're basically subcommittees. And so there's 6 of them now. We just got a new one. Age Well looks at seniors and how to connect seniors with programs and support. We do a computer program where we match up high school students and seniors and teach them how to use computers. Eat Well looks at access to food and connects with the Kingston Emergency Food Collaborative, which during the COVID pause delivered a lot of meals and groceries, and that work still continues today. We still do a lot of the support of that work. Grow Well, I'll talk about in just a minute, but that's our newest focus team, and that's kind of an urban agriculture group. Heal Well, it brings together health providers and talks about access to healthcare. It's kind of networking. It's also a little bit, the providers come together and talk about trauma and adverse childhood experiences, and it's kind of a vibrant group. Gravel Well looks at our streetscapes and how do we design them and support access for all users, so people on bikes and pedestrians as well. The support and travel well, a lot of it is green, the Kingston Rail Trail and the Green Line, and I'll talk about that in just more in a minute. And then Play Well, it kind of brings together different organizations from the city that do physical activity. It also talks about access to public spaces and parks. And Play Well earlier this year did a Chalk the Walk event, and staff from Parks and Rec helped with that quite a bit. They decorated the sidewalks at the Roundabout Community Center, and it's been great working with Casey and Andrew in that work. So I wanted to mention some of the work that I already do to support green spaces and our parks here in Kingston, so you kind of know about the relationship that I already do kind of in this space. So it's not sort of out of nowhere that the Director of Health and Wellness is here talking to you tonight. So I want to mention that for the Green Line, my department is the one that made the signs that went up, and I manage a pedestrian counting project. So if you see these utility boxes on the trail, I'm counting cyclists and pedestrians that go by, and I have all that data. My Play Well focus team and the Age Well focus team partnered in 2018 and got a grant from the AARP, and it's to support spaces for seniors. So we landed on this idea of a chess playground. Really what that is 2 tables that are chess tables, and we had hoped to do some chess programming, but then COVID came and that kind of paused. But if you go down to TR Gallo Park, these chess tables were a project that we managed from the grant application to the installation. So some park improvements there. This new urban agriculture group called Grow Well, kind of our latest focus team, this last summer did a garden bed project. It went through, a lot of the work went through the Kingston YMCA Farm Project, but also the Farm Hub and the Kingston Land Trust and some other organizations did a lot of support of that work. And this group is still growing. It's pun intended, possibly. We're just trying to find our way still in the work we're going to be doing in the future. But it's a group of pretty passionate people who really want to support urban agriculture, and that's under development. So that brings me a little bit of recap of kind of other work I've done, and then I wanted to come here tonight to talk about this lot on 78 Franklin. As Lindsay mentioned, the city has foreclosed on it, is my understanding, and that we have an opportunity to make a green space in Midtown. Making a park or a green space in Midtown are goals that are in the comprehensive plan, the Parks and Rec master plan, and I think also the open space plan. So this is work that the city really needs to do. And this is an opportunity that I don't think that this is enough green space in Midtown, if I can add my own opinion to it, but this could be a start to it. So I've brought Greg here, and I don't know if Jared's on yet, but brought some partners that are very interested in this space as well. And I'll let Greg talk to Future Fruits and some of the work he's been doing in just a minute, but I wanted to bring into the conversation that there's some community partners that would like to support the creation of this space, possibly maintenance, definitely community input into this work. And again, like I said, I'll let Greg talk to that a little bit more. But I do want to mention that we already did a little bit of a pop-up event on November 7th. It was very COVID friendly. Everyone wore masks, we social distanced. But our goal at that event was to just start a conversation with the community and ask what they might want to see in that space. And in the next slide, here's a bit of a survey that we had people fill out. We had some prompts, you know, for like, would you like to see a place for playing? Would you like to see a place for art? But then we did absolutely leave a space to ask people what they'd like to see there. And I think my role as a city staff person is to really make sure that this space, that we ask the community what they'd like to see there and make sure that the community feels ownership over it. So I have a bit of a proposal of what the process might look like. I didn't design this in a way that's linear. I suspect we might jump around quite a bit, but the first step seems to me to create a steering committee. And part of my goal for tonight is to reach out to this commission and find out for suggestions of who might be in that group. Then we'll do I hope to do a lot of public engagement to find out what people want in that space. We would have to make a site plan. We'd have to create a maintenance plan. At some point, we'd have to get Common Council approval. They would be the decision makers about this project. Throughout that whole process, we'd be looking for funding with our great grants department. At some point, we get to celebrate and do a ribbon cutting. And then even after that point, we would still continue public engagement. So that's kind of the part that I wanted to present to you tonight. I think I went through that kind of fast, but I'm hoping that we'll have time for some questions or suggestions on process, suggestions for committee members, and maybe even just a feel for how the commission here feels about that. This is would definitely affect the Parks and Rec department. But I'm going to pass this now to Greg to talk a little bit more about the work that Future Fruits and the Kingston Land Trust is doing. And I guess, Greg, give me a sign that you want me to turn the page for you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I think I'll just start out kind of just speaking generally. Actually, maybe you can go back to the Future Fruits page because I'll kind of speak on Jared's behalf, even though, you know, so I'm, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Greg Shaheen, and I am the conservation coordinator with the Kingston Land Trust. And yeah, it's really nice to, I just want to say thank you to Emily, and I'm just so grateful that we have such awesome people working for for the city, and also it's great to see a lot of you know, friends and allies here on the commission. So I'm excited that maybe we can, you know, work together, maybe on this project at 78 Franklin.
I'm
And
sorry,
so I'll
Greg.
just
I just whoever just jumped on, can you please mute your phone or your speaker? Caller 5 or 4.
And also I have to, if my sound starts to get weird, let me know, because sometimes it does that, and I like block my mic. So it sounds okay for now. Okay, good. Should I continue?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. So I'll just speak quickly to Future Fruits since Jared is not here. But Future Fruits is, I'll just read it, is a citywide collective endeavor utilizing the arts, culture, and education to produce edible landscaping in the public and private spaces of the city, and for the city to offer the following resources, including education with food-centered workshops, stewardship by the local youth, work with collaborative arts organizations, generating free fresh food in central locations, accessible to all the population, including, for example, wheelchair accessible, especially those without cars or way of transportation. And so, yeah, the way that I see Future Fruits, I guess the distinction from urban ag is that, you know, it's a little bit more focused on perennial landscapes. And I just saw that Jared actually just jumped on. So
sorry, I'm a little.
timing.
I got a little human with me. Sorry, my bad. But yes, I'm here. Hello.
It's all good. You literally jumped in at the perfect time because you can speak to Future Fruits a lot better than I can. So, are you in the position to speak a little bit about Future Fruits? And
yes, always.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right. So, yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Jared Williams. I'm part of the initiative called Future Fruits. We're hoping to work with Kingston. There's a bunch of collaborations that are brewing, and we're going to hopefully activate public and private spaces to grow food as a collaborative and network-based organization. So yeah, that being said, it details it in our mission here about being.
I just read those, just so you know, I just read all of them out to everyone.
Oh, you did? Oh, fantastic. Good. So I don't have to do that. But yeah, it's based in collaboration and generating spaces that are productive for the same amount or less maintenance than the Parks and Rec department might already be doing. And it's also to generate something that is appreciated by the city as an organization that relieves some of the work that Parks and Rec has to do. And so, yeah, that being said, we can kind of look at more of the details presented in this document. Does that feel good, Greg?
Yeah, totally.
Well,
I think that's the yeah, and I'm happy afterwards, Jared, just to speak to the Kingston Land Trust perspective. So I'll let you kind of keep going with the Future Fruit side.
okay. All right, so.
And Emily is controlling slides, so just let her know
Okay, yeah.
if you want to.
Can you move on with the slide? Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually trying to move it forward. Let's see. Well, it seems to be a little sticky.
So
There we go.
Jared,
Oh,
Emily
there you go.
spoke about already. She spoke about all, you know, the potential process for 78 Franklin, and she briefly mentioned the pop-up event that we had there.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to kind of, you know, obviously it's a vacant lot, right? So 78 Franklin, right? It could be anything. I mean, it's a blank slate in a lot of ways. Of course, there are limitations, you know, zoning and these kinds of things, but I think Jared, you know, obviously we want to do the outreach, but Jared is kind of presenting a really exciting possibility if the community, if the community, you know, sees it as something that's valuable. So anyway, take it away, Jared.
Okay, yeah. So I guess there was already mention of the slides are going wild. But yeah, the 78 Franklin space was a pop-up event that we created to gauge what the public is really asking for of the space. We created some flyers that that had things like, would you like to see a park here, or a children's playground, or others, like, give us, yeah, there it is right there. And so it was kind of just a way to engage the public in the process. And we've gathered a lot of that data and are going to be reviewing that this coming Thursday, this next one, Thursday. And so, yeah, it's exciting to have gotten the lay of the land of who's the neighbors there, what kind of people came to this event that were excited about it, and then what, hold on, sorry, I got a little human here, so there's another one here. This.
Greg, did you want to talk very briefly about Rondout Gardens? And then I'd love to have just a little bit of time to get the commissioners' feedback.
Totally. Yeah, so I just about, you know, before I'll just say real briefly about the Kingston Land Trust role. We have something, you know, a program called a land matching program. And so there's a lot of underutilized land in Kingston, whether it's private or public. And I think, you know, there's can be a lot of creative solutions of people working together to do cool things. And so it could be growing food, or it could be, you know, a space to have a dance class, or a socially distanced potluck, or, you know, anything under the sun really was initially the idea. But definitely it's been, people have really been taken to growing food since COVID. And so we did already do, you know, like I said, it includes public spaces. And so, like, we did Lindsay will remember, and, you know, we included Barman Park and kind of help revive that community garden there. And we also kind of have Rondout Gardens on as one of these spaces that's sort of available for people to engage with and use as a space, specifically generally to grow food in these cases. And I think that's kind of where 78 Franklin came in as well. It's like, we want to help, you know, provide that support of outreach, doing, you know, supporting through, you know, land access and working out things like that. And also possibly, you know, working on issues of zoning, and that's coming up right now. So through the Grow Well organization, that, you know, the group that is part of Live Well. So we're really excited about that movement. And Rondout Gardens is just something that, you know, there's been talk about doing some kind of perennial landscape in this area for a long time, actually. At the Kingston Land Trust, our director actually did her, like, master's thesis on this very topic, and ways that, you know, the city, and like Jared was saying, there could be actually ways in which the city has to do less maintenance on some of their lots, and you get the added benefit of, you know, more rich spaces that are diverse in terms of what's planted there and what people can do there. So just, yeah, Jared actually better speak about. I mean, we have a property, a piece of land just up Grove Street that we've been engaging people on, right by JFK School. It's quite right out of this map, but so we've been kind of through that, really engaging a lot of people to get their take on Rondout Gardens and how we can improve that garden. And Jared actually just, you know, came up with a cool design that actually can give you an idea about one possibility of 78 Frank.
Let's go back up to the top there, Emily, if you can. Yep, one more. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, right there. So so right, this is, so I'm a permaculture educator and also designer. And so for the past 10 years, I've been doing a lot of this work where I can see that there's a space that has a certain amount of assets, and then a certain community that is able to work with the space, and creating something that is abundant for all those people and more. And so anyways, Greg just kind of approached me, well, it must have been a year and a half ago, Greg, and was kind of like, yeah, there's this one place, Rondout Gardens, that would be really cool to have some perennial agriculture in there too. I'm excited that it already has a plotted space in there that's growing food, and a community right next door. So look, the first thing that we do in permaculture is observe, and from this observation that I initially did, it's like, what is, you can use that, what is there available and who's around? So like, look at the bottom, it says nearby there's public housing units, right? The Rondout Gardens units. The JFK Elementary School is real close. There's a Latinx church right next door. The Green Line is, of course, right there, running past it, and a basketball court. So, can you ask Diana, please? Can you ask Diana? And then also, yeah, you can go to the next slide, Emily. So yeah, this picture was taken, I guess it was November of last year when I was doing the observation. Okay. And then, hold on, I'll be 1 sec.
Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty bare.
Yeah, so it just kind of was like a lot of available open space, and there is some on the right-hand side, there is some like raspberries. I was just taking note of all these things, but it could really be beneficial to have a lot more there, and the list can be extensive of what can happen. A lot can fit in a small amount of space, but even this is a medium-sized space. So yeah, let's go down again.
So Jared, I want to be sensitive of the commission's time. So I think,
yeah.
Can we quickly, just show the plan maybe that you have for Rondout Gardens, and then
Sure.
And maybe the Future Foods can come back and talk about their projects more in the future.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for checking in. So yeah, this is kind of what we basically drew up, and it adds a lot more trees, a lot more perennial agriculture, and it's right on the access of the Green Line. So it makes the space a lot more inviting and beneficial for the community that's there. So yeah, thank you for your time, and it's just a couple of examples of what we could do.
So I know we've used up a lot of time, and to go back to the 78 Franklin Street project, does the commission have any questions or things to think about for the future on that project?
I mean, I definitely would like to see more information or anything like that, see where those surveys, came in, and, what the people actually want there. That would be great. So that way we could tailor our decision towards that community as well. I mean, if you're doing that research, I think that's a smart way to, get those answers, and we can hopefully steer a committee. Anybody else?
I agree with Travis. I would like to see what the outcome was from the meeting first before we make any decisions. So
Decisions to move forward, or decisions?
I would say to move forward, but I would just like to see what the public had said about the projects.
Absolutely. We definitely hope to pull that together.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, we do have that scheduled, and we are doing that.
Yeah, because the city doesn't have the property yet, correct, Emily?
No, the city has foreclosed on it, so the city does have the property.
Okay, so we do have the property. Okay, great,
Yeah.
Great. Out. Well, not great. Great at the city.
And did I mention that the 78 Franklin is too small to build on? it previously had a building that burnt down. So it's not a great space for housing, but so it would be great for a green space.
And also just quickly, we mentioned there was a house that burned down, and so we have been doing, I think it was 2013, and so we've been doing soil tests there, and so far it's come out actually pretty clean, which is good thing. Although we might do more soil tests in detail to make sure with the brownfields program with Kristen Wilson.
All right, so I guess I just would want to end by saying thank you for letting us come and talk. And my goal also is just to stay in touch with you all. So our contact information is here, and I'd love to be able to come back again and get more feedback from you, and we'll keep you updated on the project.
Emily, is there any way that you could send that to Lindsay so she could forward that to the commission so we can take a look? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And it's
really,
just what we're going to send you is just the beginning of the outreach. I mean, we're very aware that we can't just do one pop-up event. And I mean, we had a lot of people show up, but it's the process, and we're going to continue to just like be there and just be listening and be engaging with the community.
Great, great. The more
Thank you,
feedback,
sir.
the better.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Joe McDowell. I would like to know when is the next pop-up, so we can let us know as well.
I know you like to party, Joe. So I hope you see you there next time. We don't have one planned. We don't have one planned yet, but I mean, obviously we got lucky for that last one. It was like one of those weird, really warm days. So I would probably say it's going to be in the spring, unless we want to do something sooner, if there's some, But either way, we're going to definitely enlist you to bring your sound system and your music, because it's great. So.
Thanks, Greg. Santa's on his way.
Awesome.
Okay, this is Maureen.
There you go, Maureen.
Hello,
Thank you.
everyone.
How are you, Maureen?
Yes, thanks, Travis. So, so our guests are welcome to leave, so we can continue on with our meeting. And unless there's something else that they have to say, but thank you for the information. That was a lot of information, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you all for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good meeting.
Same here. Thank you. Hi, I arrived late, but here I am. It's
So
good to see everybody.
You as well, Maureen. The next thing, I believe that we brought them up to the top of the agenda. I think the next thing is just to introduce Andrea. We could start from the top, or however you want to look at the agenda, Maureen. I'm passing it over to you.
Oh, well, thank you. You're doing such a wonderful job.
No.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Miss Andrea Dassey, our newest commissioner. Is she here?
She was.
Yeah, she's here. She's at the car shop dealing with a battery issue, so she might have stepped away for a second.
You gotta love these virtual meetings, right? You can definitely multitask.
Yeah.
Oh, she just left,
So,
actually.
yeah.
Must be the fight.
Who's that?
I don't know who that was, but
I'm gonna mute
is that
them.
Andrea?
I don't know.
Oh, she is.
No, she's
No.
back. There we go. Oh, Joe is caller 5.
There-
I'm sorry.
There she is.
Sorry, I was here. I could hear you, and I'm back in my car now, and they fixed the battery, which is great. It's been a crazy day.
I thought it was a pipe, Andrea.
Oh, hi Joe, how you doing?
How you doing? I thought it was a pipe on your car, but yeah.
No, it
Thank
was
you.
not. Yeah, so I just pulled over. My internet was kind of going out while I was driving, so but yeah, would you like me to introduce myself, other than my car
Yes,
trouble?
please.
Okay. Well, hi everyone. Thank you for being so understanding. My name is Andrea Dassey. I'm new to the committee, and I'm really to the commission. I'm really excited to be my job. I'm a speech pathologist for the school district. I work at George Washington School, and I've gone through a lot of the programs that the rec department has had. I recently retired. I think it's a year now from position as a Parks and Rec. I can't even remember what the position is called. I used to retire for so long, it feels like, but he recently retired from his position as a recreation leader for the city. And that was a big part of my life, always being involved in the programs. And I'm excited to be a part of it now as a person who helps to make great programming for people in our community that I care about. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. So, for some reason, I don't have an agenda in front of me. I don't know why, or I thought I had seen it somewhere along the line, so I don't know exactly what you covered before I came on, other than
Absolutely
Emily
nothing.
Flynn
So,
and the people.
yeah,
Well,
so
okay.
we just need to vote on the
All
meeting
right,
minutes.
so yes, yes. So those were the meeting, the November minutes. I wasn't here for that meeting. What did you say, Nancy?
I said, we didn't vote on it on the old business yet. Like just to,
Yes.
accept.
Oh. Okay. So what's first on the agenda then? Can we vote on those minutes now and get them out of the way? I
Sure.
wasn't here for that meeting, so I'm not able to vote, right? Is
You can
that how that
abstain.
works? All I
Yep.
did was review them,
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from the prior month.
And I second it. So we're done with that.
Okay. Yes. I don't have an agenda in front of me. What's next up?
I would just say, department and programs updates from Lindsay, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, great.
So, 1 second. So I'm sure most of you have heard by now, but due to the recent rise in COVID cases, our programs have been suspended again, with the exception of the school distance learning program at the Hodge and Roundout Center. It is unfortunate, but there have been, as you know, not just within the county and the city, but even in the city departments, there have been quite a few recent positive diagnosis. And so the mayor has asked that we focus just on the essential program of the distance learning. So with that, Andrew and Casey have dedicated all their resources to the Roundout Center. And so that's where the focus is at this time. We're not able to have any kind of events or gatherings. We can continue with, some of the virtual and, online presentations and demos that we've done, kind of the stuff that we were doing in the spring. It's not ideal, but, there are some ways to do, virtual learning and things, and try to offer something for the community. But it's not going to be your usual December that I know most of you are used to. And so I just wanted to let you all know that. The school program is going well. Now that, I'm not sure if anyone has heard about this, but next week, the school district is shifting to remote only yet again. I'm told that it's only going to last a week, but I'm also hearing that it's going to continue through the remainder of the year. So we may see an increase at our centers, at our facilities. So we really want to try to keep an eye on that. We want to try our best to keep those numbers, low, while still being able to serve as many kids as we can. But we have to try to be safe. The Roundout Center is not a very big space, especially when you consider how many students are allowed to be in one space at a time. It really limits us. And so that's something that we're going to have to reevaluate as we continue through the rest of the year. It's a delicate balance for sure. But Andrew and Casey have been doing a phenomenal job.
How many kids are currently using the program, Lindsay, if you don't mind me asking?
It changes frequently. So every day is different. Yesterday, I think there were 12 kids,
Wow.
which is a little bit higher than what it's been. Depending on how many kids are scheduled to be in school on certain days. That's why the number goes up and down. Some kids do not show up consistently. I don't know if that's a result of daycare. Some kids have had to stay home due to, with what they're calling positive designations at their schools. So for example, there was the article about Bailey. Positive designation doesn't necessarily mean a kid has tested positive for COVID. It means that if a kid says their stomach hurts or their head hurts, they go to the nurse, they have to be sent home, and they're not allowed to return until they have a test done and come back with a negative result. Yes, and it's really been a tricky thing to navigate because kids say their head hurt all the time. They can have a sneeze or a cough, and ultimately that means they have to go home. Their siblings have to go home, and that also means that they are to notify us so we know that they are not going to be at the facility. So that has changed our numbers quite a bit as well. So every day is different. I've had Andrew update me and let me know. He does a good job of informing me of stuff, so that way we can keep a handle on things.
Right.
Does anybody
What's the maximum number that the program can accommodate?
So we have said that we do not plan to go beyond 25 kids. That's for a few reasons. Space, of course, being the number one issue, but also staffing. At the Rondout Center, we are collaborating with Read and Write. Read and Write has their own funding, they have their own staffing, and so they have their own limitations as well. We did recently hire one of our seasonal staff to come back and assist at the Rondout Center. This is an individual that's worked for at the Rondout Center in the past. She has good work ethic. Andrew speaks very highly of her, and so she started this past Monday just to have more stability in our staffing, especially as we see this continuing for the rest of the school year.
Okay, I was just curious because if 12 kids showed up, that's like about 50%. So there's definitely room, and probably more now that school is going to be virtual again. So, seems like that 25 will fill up pretty quick.
Yeah, there is definitely room for that. It may be something that we need to reconsider. Keep in mind, the more kids that we have, the more chances and risks there are for, possible, spread of the virus. And
Absolutely.
Again, staffing is definitely a concern as well. We have never operated like this before. The kind of staff that we've had on board are seasonal employees that have only part-time. And so finding those, finding staff to work full days at the salary that that position holds has been challenging. And so that's something that has to be considered if this ends up, staying through June. So it's definitely a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of kind of wait and see. It's definitely been challenging to navigate, but we're making changes as things come up. So it'll keep evolving, I'm sure.
Okay. I know that, we do usually have the annual Christmas celebration there program, and that Commissioner McDole is usually our Santa, and his wife last year was Mrs. Claus. So any idea of how that, is it possible to do anything for the community this year as far as the Christmas
Yeah.
program that we usually have?
That was, we discussed that. We discussed that at the last meeting. Again, things have
I did see.
changed.
Mhm.
Yeah, things have changed though since that meeting. There were a couple of ideas that
Right.
were thrown out there about Santa visiting the parks and having, the kids kind of come by and, meet them. But, it seems like even that is something that we're not really able to facilitate until further notice. So I think it'll need to kind of go back to the plan of Santa making deliveries, kind of. It's definitely going to be tricky, but it's doable. We do have a list of the kids that are at the Roundout Center, and of course we can get it from the Hodge Center, from Family Woodstock. There's going to be a raffle to find out which lucky 4 kids get a nice bike this year from Santa. Which, by the way, that was on my list to tell you. Those are being picked up tomorrow. Mr. Woods again generously donated, the funds for that. They're 4 great bikes. They're beautiful. It's going to be a nice treat for these kids for sure. The challenge at this point is finding a way to get it to them and what we can do for the other kids as well.
Okay, so Santa Claus will definitely be coming to town then, huh?
Santa always comes to town. Yeah, there's no. It's just we can't really market it as an event or a celebration, and that's where it gets a little bit challenging. And I am open
Right.
and to hear what suggestions any of you have as far as other gift ideas. I mean, I know separately from the bikes, I know that there's been kind of like goodie bags and of course meals that have been distributed in the past. And so I'm interested to know what in this unprecedented time, what we can do to still, provide something for the kids.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanksgiving break.
Sorry.
Was there something similar we could do for December?
Wait, I'm sorry, Troy, what did you say?
Well, we didn't do that break box for November.
Yes, that's happening. The break box is already underway. Casey has that listed for December.
And the break box, go ahead, Travis.
No, it's okay, Nancy, go ahead.
I was just going to say that the break box is activities, correct? For them to do. I meant also, I know that groups give, like People's Place or something like that gives breakfast, like cereal and something for lunch. You know what I'm saying? In a package also. That would be my only suggestion because they're not going to be in school and they're not going to get lunch or breakfast.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they get. Are you talking about the students? So the kids that go to the centers, they are provided breakfast and lunch.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. All right. Okay. Even those at the centers, correct?
Oh yeah, the Family Woodstock, they prepare the meals for all of the community locations. And so every day Andrew goes and picks up breakfast before the kids get there. and then he picks up lunch. So they have hot meals every day.
All right. Okay.
Could you do, maybe it would be nice for them to get like a gift card, like a $5 gift card to like Burger King or something. You know, that might be a nice treat for a lot of the families who might not be able to afford it, or, you know, be able to go there. It might save mom and dad a night of cooking,
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
and they can get like a little meal and they get a toy in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know in the
That
past.
sounds good. I know that last year.
Yeah.
Last year, I know that the participants received gift card or gift certificate from Dallas Hot Wieners.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they were able to, you know, go and get, I guess, you know, hot dogs and a drink or something. So is that it? Are they annual donors for Christmas? Because if so, then we can possibly look forward to receiving something like that also. And as far as Burger King, that's a good idea too. I mean, is it too late to appeal to them? Because I know that they're a corporation, and sometimes you have to go through this red tape when it comes to corporations, you know, in order to get a donation. So
Yeah.
that's still
And
something that can be looked into.
I'm kind of torn about, you know, like when you think of, you know, of course, at a time like this, we want to support the local businesses. And so my feeling is, of course, we want to try to stick with a location like Dallas. I don't know. My concern is, you know, everybody took a hit this year. And so I don't know if asking for a donation this year is the way to go. But I think that if we can look at the numbers in the budget, I think we should be probably footing that bill if it is doable.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, any further discussion regarding the holiday festivities? If not, then we can move on to the next item, which is,
Well, I just wanted
I
to
don't have
update
an
you guys
agenda.
on a couple other, I'm sorry, just a couple other items on my list to tell you guys about.
Oh, great. I'm sorry, go ahead. Yes.
No, that's
Lindsay.
okay. I'll be brief. I know Travis had asked about the December newsletter. Casey is trying to gather some more information to put that together. So I'm hoping that she'll have that to me by tomorrow for last review. One of the projects that I want to update you on, the Hutton Park Pavilion. There were no bids received for that project. And so it doesn't seem, apparently there's a lumber shortage. I don't know if anyone else, Steve, do you know about that? Yeah. So it's apparently so there's been I guess that's one of the reasons why, you know, there's been issues there. And that you know, it doesn't seem that work is going to be completed by the end of this year. So they're planning to start that back up and restart the bidding process in hopes for 2021 to get going on that. This is exciting. Forsyth Nature Center. We were able to get a bid for Mark D-Day to have a van. I don't know if anyone knows this, but he's been using his own vehicle for years to transport animals and bales of hay and all the things that I doubt most of us would want to use our own vehicles for. So, you know, one of the things that Kevin did, you know, in preparation for the 2020 budget is that he had put some, you know, a request for money for Mark to get a proper vehicle to be able to use. So we just filled out the PO yesterday, submitted it to purchasing. I think it's a Ram van cargo. It came in under budget. I think there was 25,000 that was allotted for that, and I think it came in somewhere around 23. So he's really excited about that. I'm excited for him, and so that's
Great.
being soon. And we environmental specialists. There's a vacancy for that. Sean Poster. He held that position, and he had resigned, I guess, in October. And so now there's an opening, and there were several resumes that were submitted, many from out of the state, out of the city. And so they, you know, we had a meeting today to narrow them down. And there's going to be, I think, we've narrowed it down to 6 for interviews. So that should be beginning the 14th that week.
What position is that, Lindsay?
Environmental specialist.
Okay,
Yep. So this individual is 75% in the Parks and Rec budget, and then 25% in engineering. And so I don't know how many of you know Sean, but he worked very well with both departments. He worked on a lot of projects, and so this person, we're hoping will be just as ambitious and friendly and hardworking.
okay.
All right, that is all I have.
Okay, good. Any questions? Anyone have any questions? Okay. What's next on the agenda? I'm sorry, I don't have an agenda in front of me. I don't know what happened to it.
Next we have, I don't know if Steve wanted to give an update. I'm sorry if I didn't include that.
We have any new business? No, I don't have an agenda, so I'm just winging it here. So please, Steve?
Well, I mean, yeah,
Steve?
Steve, you want to talk, do some liaison comments?
I think Steve might be muted. Or even if he was muted, he could still hear us, right?
There we go. Okay. Well, I guess the big news is council passed the city budget. Now we have to wait for the mayor to either okay it or veto it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm very happy to report that Lindsay made her first appearance this year, and she handles herself very well and performed admirably in front of that rugged bunch of politicians. I think it went pretty smoothly. Again, Lindsay answered every question there. I think we do have a good council that's really friendly to the rec department. We can't always say that, but this is a pretty good group. So, everybody, looks forward to working with the department. And, other than that, there's really not a lot of things, on the line here. I will mention, actually, I'm going to speak to Lindsay about this. I'm chair of the community block grants. And we do have some excess funds available. Unfortunately, we have a deadline. They can be used for projects that have been initiated already. We don't have time to initiate any kind of projects. So I'm going to, hopefully get together with Lindsay real soon. Maybe we can look at some things where the work has been done, we haven't paid the bills yet, or something is so close that we can jump in and help support rather than take things from our capital or our trust fund, or hope to take them out of the general fund or whatever. But that would be nice. Maybe we could cover a couple projects, but we do have a substantial amount of money. So Lindsay, I will be talking to you, and probably Amy Peterson also will give you a call, and maybe we can team up on a couple projects and get some things accomplished. And maybe even if there were things done that we haven't paid bills for, even better, because the timing would be better. So I'll give you a call about that, and we can get together and discuss that. So other than that, that's about it. You know, there's really nothing involving the rec department that I see. Nothing controversial, that's for certain. So if anybody has any questions, feel free. If not, that's about it for me for this month.
Thanks, Steve.
Good job, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
That's great to hear that there's some monies out there that's available that I'm hoping that we can use.
Yeah, that's
So-
always a good thing.
Anyway,
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
thanks, Steve. Good news. I agree. I agree. Okay, what's next on the agenda?
Next was, so old business was the Kenny Bryan dedication. I don't know if Joe is still on, but I was hoping he could speak to that. I know he reached out to the family. Joe, are you still here?
Yes. Yes, I am. All right, so I spoke to Kevin, and he's in agreement in anything that we would like to do. He's going to have a set of pictures for me. I'll pick up probably tomorrow, and we'll decide how we're going to, put the face on the plaque. And I looked at a couple places. I have some prices I could bring into you, Lindsay. I have to see you anyway. I'll definitely be in town tomorrow. I've been working out of town, but I'll be in town tomorrow to see you, Lindsay, for a check that I have to give to you, and also, and we could go through the pictures, and if Wells agree to them somehow.
Well, I think that we
could
have
put it on the
to,
plaque.
go through the council, right, Steve? I think we have to submit a letter to the council for any kind of dedication before we do that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it would be nice, yeah, if we're gonna do something. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not renaming anything, so that's, I mean, it's kind of a courtesy at this point. The mayor, I know the mayor should be advised, that we're
Right.
doing this. But, I really don't think, we don't need any resolutions or anything like this. It's just gonna be a, thank you to Kenny for your hard work, and put up a plaque.
Right.
It's probably, it's pretty much the same thing as the thing we had for Joe Marchetti. I mean, we didn't really need resolutions. I don't even know if you need a vote on your committee, but it would be nice, to vote on it. I don't think legally you need anything, to get this moving. So, I think it's pretty simple. As long as the family is on board with it, that's really the only thing that has to be done. And, I'm sure they're 100% with this. So I think we're ready to roll.
All right, that's great.
Okay, well, quick question. Weren't we naming the park after Kenny Bryan uptown, Franklin, I believe?
That was my understanding as well, Joe.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
That was my understanding as well. I thought we were renaming the park as well.
Yeah,
Van Buren Street
yeah.
mentioned. That's what I thought we were all speaking about, Van Buren Street.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that would require, I believe that would have to go through the process.
Right, that's correct.
Yeah, actually, I kind of forgot about renaming the park. I thought we were just going to do the plaque. Yeah. Actually, if we're going to name a park, then that definitely has to have a resolution attached to it. So, if I can get somebody, Lindsay, Maureen, whoever, both preferably, more the better. I mean, if you want to send that to me, I can get that in motion.
That'd be great.
Do we need, so do we just send, if I send you just a communication stating that this was, we have the blessing of the family, like how?
What is it that you need from me, Steve? You were breaking up.
Yeah. We'll need, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I can.
I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, all right. Yeah, just send me a letter, what you would like to do as far as renaming the park. That's pretty simple. Include in there, it would be nice if you can get something from the family giving their blessings to this to attach to it, would be nice. If not, Kevin works at City Hall. I'm sure Kevin would be more than happy to give us something written saying that, they're in favor of this. I think that's probably the easiest part of this whole deal. So yeah, if you can send that to me, then I'll get it sent to, I don't know, probably General Government Committee, I think would be most appropriate. Although I'll talk to the president but we'll get it to a committee and we'll get it approved. And, I don't expect any difficulty with it. So if you can get that to me ASAP, then we'll get it to a committee.
Okay, great. I'm going to be meeting with Kevin at some point. I believe tomorrow. We said we can see each other, and I could ask him. I'm gonna speak to him tonight again, so I can get that part in motion as well.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
So Lindsay, you can compose that letter for Steve?
Yeah, I can send that on behalf of the commission. Sure.
Lindsay?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I can take care of that.
Okay. Now I can, yes. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Steve, for making this work. I had forgotten all about that park being renamed too, and hopefully that'll make a difference for that park in the neighborhood, maybe it'll be appreciated a little more, I think. So sometimes what's in a name that makes a difference. So in any case, anything else on that note? If not, we can move on to the next item.
I'm sorry, which park was it again?
The Van
What's the
Buren
next item?
The Van Buren
Van
Street
Buren.
Park. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks.
That was the Van Buren Street. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't have an agenda in front of me. What's next on the agenda?
Well, that was it. The holiday gifts was under old business, but we already discussed that.
Okay. For old business though, Linz, how did the programs go for November? We had the bingo bash, we had the foul shooting contest, the Thanksgiving break box. Anything out of the ordinary, successful? Anything you'd like to talk about with those?
Yes,
So
the bingo did not happen. We did not have enough people sign up for that, and so we had intended to do it in December, but that is not able to happen at this time. So we're going to hold off until that's permitted. The foul shot competition went well. I think we had six kids sign up. I think that it went well considering it's tough, at a time where usually we would want something like that to be able to have family members go and, a full gym. It could have been a real fun, exciting thing for kids to have a, kind of perform with a crowd, but we weren't able to do that. And so it was individual kids at a time. The kids were given a trophy and a turkey, hence the name Foul. So it was cute. It was something different. It was cute. A lot of the things that we try to do right now are just to kind of see what works at a time like this. So Some things are successful, some things don't really stick. So we're just trying to truck along with those. The break boxes, I think that ended up being quite successful. Joe generously donated, I believe there were six break boxes for kids at the Roundout Center.
Wow.
And then we had, I think, 3 others that purchased them. And so it was good. You know, I think it was a good concept, and I think that it's just something fun for the kids to have at home, especially when everyone is home so often. And again, Casey has that lined up for December as well. And so, you know, that's pretty much, I believe that's what ended up happening for November.
Great. Well, Joe, thank you very much for that donation.
Thank you,
No
Joe.
problem.
Yes.
No problem. Santa's still gonna be around. He's not going anywhere.
All right.
Have the fire truck ready for Santa.
Oh,
That's exciting.
Thanks, Joe.
Unfortunately, I have to leave. I have another meeting to attend. I'm in Ellenville right now. I have
Okay.
a very important meeting here. Hello?
Thank you, Joe. Take care.
Thanks, Joe.
Would
All
you
right. All right.
say?
Huh? I'm sorry. Anything else from me you need?
I don't
Nope.
think so, Joe. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, Lindsay. For sure.
Oh, Joe, I'm gonna shoot you an email, okay?
Huh?
Well, thanks for joining us.
I'll
All
send
right.
you
Have
an
a good
email.
evening, everybody. Okay,
Bye-bye.
great. Perfect.
No, I think you're
All
good.
right, bye-bye.
Oh my God. All right, that's all I've got though.
Okay. Yeah. The last thing I just want to say, I sent out the letter to
Okay,
Commission,
let's see.
and I just wanted to say for just public spotlight
So,
for Herzog's True Value, J&J Sass Electric, Joe Manello, Ralph Lembo, and Ron Woods for their generous donation of a wreath for Sergeant Dietz Memorial at Dietz Stadium. So, I mean, we have a lot of good members of our community that do a lot of donations for the Parks and Rec, and I definitely want to make sure that they're recognized for that as well.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Other than that, I don't have anything additional.
now, is there a way that we can publicly, you know, thank them and recognize their,
I think Travis said that Ron sent a.
okay,
right?
my question was, is there a way that we can publicly, the rec department, the commission can, publicly, thank.
I mean,
Well,
Lindsay,
You could put something
past,
on our
like,
Facebook
Ron sent,
page.
the letter that Travis shared with us was a letter that Ron had composed to.
yeah, it went to WKMY, was read
That
off at
works.
WKMY as well as the Freeman, I believe.
And Maureen?
Yeah, I think that would work. Okay.
Hey, Maureen, this is Steve. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Maybe we could take a picture
I can't hear you.
of the monument.
Hi, Steve.
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yes.
Okay. All right. Maybe we could take a picture of the monument with the new lighting and put it in our
Yes.
Facebook page.
That's a great idea, Steve.
Also, maybe in our newsletter also.
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt, but
Okay.
there's going to be an end of the
Yes.
year kind of wrap up report. And so we will be listing all of our volunteers and thanking, you know, of course, the commissioners and all the folks that have made donations throughout the year. And we will certainly highlight all those folks.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yep.
Okay. That's awesome. You know, yeah, I just feel like they should have some kind of public recognition and, you know, and a thank you from the commission. So that sounds great. Anything else? Does anybody have any further questions or anything else to say regarding anything?
The only thing I have to say.
If not, we can adjourn the meeting. Travis,
Wait one second, Maureen, sorry.
were you saying something?
Yeah, if Lindsay can just drop us a note if she needs any help with Christmas or whatever, okay? So that.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I want to look at our budget and see what's left in there as far as like you said, the gift cards to one of the local businesses.
Absolutely, yes.
And normally we have our crafters making hats and scarves, but unfortunately they have not been meeting since the pandemic. And so I'm going to speak with I have a follow-up meeting with Casey and Andrew tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
I said, okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had another suggestion. Yeah, so I will be following up with Casey and Andrew tomorrow and just let them know how our conversation went, and we will certainly pull something together, and I will keep you all informed.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Maureen,
Thank
you good?
you. Yeah, thank you, Nancy, for mentioning that because Lindsay, we're here to assist you in any way possible. Just ask us. We might not be thinking in those terms, but we're here.
No, you guys are great. And I also want to point out, Nancy had made a generous donation
I
as
don't
well.
know. Is that it?
We
You
did
want to
not forget.
adjourn? Shall we adjourn this meeting?
Okay.
I'll make a motion to let's adjourn.
I second it.
Thank you, Nancy.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Have
Thanks,
a great night, everybody.
I second it.
Bye-bye.